I know there's a history of full muscle pain. There's some, maybe some dizziness, some fainting in the past. So what's going on? What are you suffering with these days?
I just have a lot of joint pain all over my body.
Okay.
That's mainly why I'm here.
Okay. You're gonna see like what chiropractic can do about it, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you get joint pain, does it ever like lock up on you? Are you like unable to open your hands? Are you unable to grinding gears in your joints? Or is it just really throbbing and achy?
Mainly throbbing and achy.
Okay.
I haven't had anything lock up on me yet.
Okay. You ever have trouble like raising your hands up over your head, picking things up? No?
With these, I do, but no.
With the, what, like the nails?
Mm. They're really long.
Oh,
Other
gotcha.
than that,
Well, she does have times where she can't put her arms to her shoulder, arm too far up above her head. It hurts her to do so sometimes.
Okay. And do you ever get like pain in your chest, pain or in your jaw, or like chewing food, anything like kind of crazy, like?
every
really?
once in a while when I chew, it pops over here.
Okay, it's a little popping. Okay. How often do you get headaches?
Pretty much every day.
Every day. Where in your head does it hurt?
Right here and then back of me.
Okay. Helps the headaches.
Silence most of the time. Just me being quiet.
Okay. Do you ever get like I wear these yellow glasses because I like the lights trigger migraines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think lights maybe trigger migraines or glare and stuff like that, or too much TV or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. What kind of sports are you into?
I used to be in wrestling and I used to be into soccer. I used to do both of those.
Okay.
Not so much anymore.
And when did you stop?
3 years ago or so.
Did you ever have a traumatic injury?
Mm-mm.
No, like not like a header with the ball that like knocked you out or like got you woozy. No.
Mm-mm.
Ever fall down really hard on your backside? Anything like that?
Doing sports? No, not anymore.
Okay. So it sounds like to me, maybe, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you were pretty active, didn't deal with a lot of this joint pain even as like 3 years ago, or you always had it?
I've always had it.
Okay.
I was told that like exercising would help with the pain, and so I joined sports things and whatnot. It did not, and so the pain got really bad. So where I couldn't do the exercises. It was hard to play in general.
Okay. And have you been tested for something like a rheumatoid arthritis? Have you gone to a rheumatologist or tested you for anything?
Rheumatologists, no. They haven't referred to that. They've only referred to pain management, and she went to a specialist for the pain. The doctor that has that. They had a psychiatrist that had a joint guy. They had all these doctors there with her one time, and basically it's more mental.
Is what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. If someone can't find like a physical, like a scan reason, where there's not like a test that shows up and says like definitively this person has such and such, and I'm not saying that whatever diagnosis they give is or isn't right, but I'm saying a lot of times they call those functional disorders. They're basically saying, well, something functionally is going on from A to where Z, and it's not connecting, and they just chalk it up to that. So I'm very passionate about that because, in particular, like chiropractic, a lot of people can't really even explain like how it all works. And I don't, to be honest with you, I mean, kind of short version of it is no one really knows like exactly how it works. But what we do know we're doing is we're changing the neurology when we make adjustments because of like, those cracking and popping that happens at the joint. It basically talks, there's these mechanoreceptors they're called, these receptors that are at the joints where we work on specifically, and it actually reduces the pressure in the joint, taking pressure off nerves, but it changes the pathways. And a lot of times it can upregulate or downregulate to send better communication to whatever this functional disorder may be. A lot of people don't like to recognize it, all these doctors and their opinions. I'm no different, I'm a doctor with an opinion. But I think that for somebody who's like dealing with like lots of joint pain, and then when we check out, when we do our chiropractic examination, and then we'll look at the x-ray, I think we'll see that there's potential, logical reasons as to why some of this might be going on. And I think certainly, I mean, you're here to try it, and I think, a trial of care and just to see how, today goes moving forward. I think that, I'm put it this way, I'm excited to know I'm gonna help, I just don't know to what extent, and you're gonna be the bearer of, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly news. So, do you have any questions for me?
Not really, no.
Not really? You're just like, I wanna see what this is all about, right? Yeah.
She's been curious about it for a while now. We just never actually got one that was recommended that was actually to try.
Yeah.
So when we met you, it's like, oh, like it's something. It's okay, let's do it. It's here, it's there. We've got the appointment. Let's go for it. But she's been really looking forward to trying to get something done because everybody tells her it's in her head.
Yeah. You're in the right place at the right time. And what do they call it? I believe in no such thing as coincidence. I think we're gonna show you some cool things. What are your goals right now? Like, if you're here, what can I help you with?
Just alleviate some pain if it's possible,
Okay.
and hopefully I can get more active again.
Okay. Well,
Those are
then,
my main goals right now.
good. The only little caveat, when we adjust, it's gonna feel good, and maybe people will have some soreness. I'm just kind of getting that out of the way now. You might feel some general soreness because what happens is when these joints, these subluxations as we call them in chiropractic, are so locked up at these joints, like they've never moved before. There's pressure on those nerves. When that releases, it's a big deal. And what'll happen is occasionally, not all the time, but about 50% of the time, people have like a residual muscle pain. So they'll be sore the next day. They'll associate it with the adjustment. What happened is those muscles that have been guarding and bracing for so long actually relax, and that lengthens the ligaments, it lengthens the tendons. So nothing to worry about if you're sore tomorrow. I actually will check on you anyways. I'm gonna give you a text at some point or a call tomorrow. Are you nervous?
A tad, yeah.
A tad, okay. You know, that's normal. Good. I promise you're in good hands. I promise you're not gonna get hurt. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over all of this. So why don't you go ahead and gown up. I'll show you the room here. This is you relaxed? Ish. Okay. It's got a lot of tension in the neck muscles. And what we do is, the reason we want to do our exam first and then look at the x-ray is we want to not rely on the x-ray to tell us definitively where to adjust. That's just one of our tools. So we want to see what's going on with the patient, then we confirm it by x-ray. And right now, right out of the gates with my scope, we're getting a ton of upper cervical or like the upper neck pressure on the right. Another thing is, depending on how sensitive someone's nervous system is or somebody's spine, and based on the way the scope's not picking up certain things, I may only adjust one or two things one day, and there might be other days where I adjust 4 or 5 things. And right now what I'm getting is a lot of cervical pressure. And then we do our static palpation. So you're just gonna feel me, it's almost like a little massage here, so I feel the tone of the muscles. What's more tender to touch? Right in here?
Yeah.
But what if I do this? Is that worse?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's more tender to touch? Down in here where this finger is?
Mm-hmm.
Or on this left side?
On the right side.
Right side?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So her whole pelvis is pulling, this way from the foundation. So we could focus down there, not gonna do it, I'm almost 99% likely not gonna do it today. But other than that, again, the spine looks good, other than the foundation, which is very important. But again, we're dealing more with those upper cervical kind of symptoms, and that's where we're gonna start. So
Okay.
like that, and kick your feet forward so they're not crossed. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on this right atlas, where you felt it, and all you have to do is trust me and not be nervous. Okay. Maybe I'll say something to trick you or something. Have you seen any of the stuff on YouTube?
I've seen chiropractic, yeah. Videos.
Okay. So you kind of more or less know what to expect.
Yes.
More or less.
More.
Okay. So go ahead and relax. So really let your body sink into the chair. Here you go. And arms relax, shoulders relax. My fingers are gonna go right, my thumb. You're gonna feel it resting here. So chin up a little, good, and then back down. Good. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get your head to be as relaxed as possible. So really let it relax and fall into my right hand. Yeah. Good. Excellent. How was that?
Weird.
It is weird.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that muscle change now?
Yeah.
Feel this. This is like, check it out, Mom. This. These were like rock hard 1 minute ago.
Yeah.
Totally changed. Walk around.
What? That's weird.
This one is like really tight right here.
Uh-huh. That's weird?
Yeah, good.
She said it's normally extremely tight right there, right?
Yeah, I can always feel it.
And now it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You show me how to do it so I can just pop it at home.
You might kill me.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of training. You're mobile. Like, you're like really like you guys. Like your wrist there.
How was Friday?
I say, best medicine, see how you feel tomorrow.
Mhm.
Call me during the day. But I'd really like to double check you tomorrow, honestly.